Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Brain Boost session. We will get started in just a couple minutes. Okay, let's get things started. I want to welcome everybody to today's working session about optimizing your Martech stack. So, work looks a little bit different these days. We want to make sure at Vertify that we're helping our customers connect platforms, connect data, and connect people in a way that makes them more effective than ever before. I'm really excited today to introduce y'all to a couple of rock stars on our customer success team. We have Amanda Hall, who's an invaluable member of the integration side. Her technical expertise with the Vertify product is unmatched. And some of you may have already heard from Annalisa. She's one of our customer success managers. Her job is to engage and build opportunities for our customers so they can showcase their successes within their own companies. So, what are we chatting about today? We're going to start with implementation. We're going to talk about adoption, and then how we understand and figure out continued success for our customers. So I'm going to go ahead and let Amanda kick things off. And I want you to kind of start with your role at Vertify and what your day-to-day looks like.
Yeah, thank you, Lacey. So as Lacey said, I am a data integration specialist here at Vertify. So my role is working with our customers post-sale to help them to stand up and configure and customize their Vertify instance. So typically what we see with our customers when they come to us initially is they're looking to solve a specific problem, and they're looking to us to provide a solution to that specific problem. And typically what we see is the problem is a disconnect between marketing and sales teams. So my role is to help solve that problem and get their marketing automation system and their CRM talking to each other. And this is really important. This is vital to the success of marketing and sales teams. Our solution not only helps the marketing side of things with feeding new leads to sales, feeding better quality lead to sales, feeding leads to sales in a timely manner so that sales can follow up quickly. But it also helps sales to close deals faster, to have better insights into which leads are hot and which leads they should be paying attention to. It helps to kind of take that guesswork out of the sales process. But then there's also kind of closing that loop back to marketing and providing those insights back to marketing as well, so they can say, oh, hey, look how successful our marketing campaigns were. Look at all of these leads that we generated that went on to purchase, and here are the dollars associated with that deal that closed. So this is really, really important to help marketers and sales teams align and allow these kind of disparate systems that don't natively talk to each other, kind of have data flow back and forth and eliminate those silos between the marketing and the sales team. So that's kind of my role to begin with, is helping our customers implement the product to solve that very specific problem. But this is really only phase one of the customer journey. So after that initial implementation is complete, that's where Annalisa comes in.
Yep, that's me. My name is Annalisa Tenias, and I am a customer success manager here at Vertify. And I'm here to help you see life beyond that initial implementation and life beyond point to point. So Vertify is capable of so much, and my role is to make sure that you see continued success after implementation has solved your first problem, point to point, right? So what happens after that? So Vertify is very flexible and very adaptable, and a lot of our clients don't know that up front because they're so engulfed in solving that initial problem. When I come in, my conversations often lead to the evolution of the marketing and sales process, because once we have solved that problem, we are able to see that we can adapt and we can evolve all of those processes, because Vertify is able to allow this information to flow back and forth seamlessly. So what happens after that? What does that look like? How do we even get there? So the way that we get there is either quarterly or monthly success planning sessions. What do we want to understand there? We want to understand, anything that's happening with your processes, anything that's happening with the solution, so we can make sure that Vertify is adapting to the evolutions of your marketing and sales processes. So another level of that is also going to be seeing Vertify as a hub. So Vertify is very much capable of not only taking two systems and making sure that information goes back and forth, but what about the entire institution of your workplace? There's so many systems, and oftentimes the answer is, let's just get another system to solve our issues. No, we need one source of truth. And to do that, we're able to create this hub and see Vertify as a hub to make sure that all of our information is not only clean and accurate, but that the data that we're reporting is where it needs to be. Data is king. That's what everybody wants to know and make their decisions based off of, is data. That's how we do that. So with that being said, I'm going to turn that back over to Amanda, because she is very involved after implementation with our clients to ensure that we can start moving to a direction of Vertify as a hub, and then also making sure that we get to that one source of truth.
Yeah, I like to kind of think of this as sort of a public transportation, a mass transit system. So the initial kind of point-to-point integration, you can think of that as calling it a Lyft or an Uber to work. It's really important for you to be able to get to your house to work and back again. That's really important for your success, but that's just a very small, minuscule piece of the puzzle. There's this entire network of trains and buses and subways and other ride shares all around the city to take you to the grocery store or the movie theater or wherever else you need to go. And thinking about integrations that way will really help you to take your marketing and sales processes to the next level. Thinking about integrations as an ecosystem. Like Annalisa said, Vertify is the hub. We are the kind of middle of that wheel. and then you're creating spokes outward from Vertify to maybe your marketing automation software, and then your CRM, and then maybe a sales enablement tool. Maybe your support team uses Zendesk, for example, and you want to be able to show that data in your CRM for your sales teams to know kind of which of their clients have open support tickets, or for customer success. So it can really expand and broaden your thinking of integrations when you consider all of these other systems that you already have, and how you can kind of bake those into the fold of just your line, your point-to-point integration between point A and point B. When you think about it like that, it becomes maybe a triangle or a square or a star. The goal is to help you to evolve your marketing and sales processes, but to also help you to evolve your Vertify integration to go along in tandem with that. And kind of thinking about this and thinking about how you would take it to the next level and get buy-in from your executive team, going back to what I was speaking about previously with how that initial implementation between marketing and sales, it allows you to see insights into how successful your marketing campaigns were. It allows sales to close deals faster, and it is tied to revenue and tied to dollars. So you already have that data available to say, look, with just this small piece of this puzzle, this point A to point B integration, look how successful this was and how we were able to get better at our jobs through just this very small piece of the puzzle. Imagine how that could get even better with including other systems that you already have, like those sales enablement and marketing enablement tools.
So from the marketer's perspective, I kind of want to jump in here. I wanted to go back to this slide, because when I came to Vertify, this is kind of what I was thinking about. I want my marketing automation to talk to the CRM. I want to get that CRM information back to my source of truth, which is Marketo. I don't want to log into Salesforce. I just want it to come back to where I live. And then once upon a time, I launched this really cool campaign. I was super excited about it. Thought it was so innovative. And it was so innovative that our customers were asking their CSM rep, hey, I want to do what your marketing team just sent out. I want to do that thing, that playbook that the marketing team just did. And the CSMs were like, Lacey, how do we do this within the product? You're selling it, but now our customers are interested. And all of a sudden I realized, you know what, the feedback loop from marketing to sales, from my Marketo to Salesforce isn't enough. Like, what if I was getting that information and understanding how our customers were using the product, maybe what they were asking about, and then getting all that like, once again, you guys talked about, that feedback loop. It's greater than we think. And so, Aaron, will you go ahead and go back to the next slide, to our fun slide with all of the things. One thing that Annalisa said when we were kind of discussing this before we jumped on was adapting the solution to the evolution of your marketing process. So people do come to us with that, I'm going to connect these two systems and let's get that quick win. But marketing it's evolving. So as it evolves, this is kind of where this comes in, and where Amanda said, all of a sudden it changes from point to point to a triangle to a square to a star. And we've got Vertify living in the middle, which is really, really great. So Annalisa, I kind of want to talk to you about, on the customer success side, we have quarterly reviews with our customers. What do you suggest they do outside of even the Vertify quarterly reviews? Maybe internally, what should they be doing as well?
So from my vantage point, communication is key, right? So we don't know what we don't know. We don't know if there's issues. We don't know if it's going great. We don't know what we don't know. So from your organization, internally, that communication is key. But externally, with the Vertify partnership, if we're not communicating back and forth, I have no idea what's going on within what issues that you're having. So communication is key. Vertify is obviously very adaptable to any of your process evolution. But once you figure out what's going on and how the evolution is starting to take place, once you start having those conversations, that information is extremely valuable and extremely important to go over with myself in our success planning sessions. Because what I'm able to do is partner with my technical specialists like Amanda and the team that she has behind her to be able to figure out how we're going to adapt the solution to your evolution of your process. So everything is, fine and dandy, but if we don't know, we don't know. Same with, internally, having those conversations inside your organization is key just as much as it is important to have those conversations with us so we can make sure that we stay aligned on the goals and the goals for ultimate success of your business.
I think everyone's talking a lot now about budgets, and we've all seen that Martech graphic that is just growing exponentially every year because we're being told that content needs their own platform, and social media needs their own platform, and this guy needs their own platform, and it just keeps building. And so I think what we talk about with, having these planning sessions, and we say, do that with Vertify because we want to make sure you're successful with our product, but also do that internally. What of your platforms are really working for you? It's that old adage, work smarter, not harder. Let's not throw a bunch more things in there. Let's make the anchor point platforms that you have, like a Marketo, like a NetSuite, and make those work smarter. And smarter is getting all that information, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. And that's what our customers see. That's what our customers see. And one thing to note here is that there's native integrations with all systems. Absolutely. We encourage all of that. But at the end of the day, our solution is able to adapt to all the intricacies that native integrations don't or can't handle. So that's what we're here for. And then our integration team is excellent when it comes to knowing the ins and outs of these systems and knowing how we can get that information flowing back and forth. At the end of the day, data is king, right? We need the data, and we need the data to be right. So why not streamline all of our systems and have that hub?
Absolutely. So on that note, I kind of want to talk a little bit about how we at Vertify view data and the customer data journey. So what we've talked about here today is liberate your data. Don't let it live behind licenses and that you can't access. Let's integrate those platforms. Let's do more than point to point. Let's grow that. Let's figure out what that ecosystem looks like. Once again, how is your marketing strategy evolving within your organization? That's very specific. It's very unique. So let's figure that out. And then we talk about the data is only as good as what you put into it. So it's that next piece of contact intelligence. Let's make sure we have the right things. I think one of the lowest hurdles I tell people about with Vertify is if your sales team is looking at Lacey at Vertify, but your marketing team is looking at Lacey Miller at Vertify, and then somebody else has L Miller, and there's all these different pieces. So let's combine that and make sure we have the same story for that one person. And then data is growing exponentially. What do you want to say with that data? Let's not walk into a meeting with just a bunch of spreadsheets. Let's go ahead and take that, analyze it, and tell the story that we want to tell. It's about empowering the marketer to talk about successes, own that revenue number, and really feel good after leaving that board meeting, the meeting with the executives, that budget talk, whatever it may be. That's really, really what, at the end of the day, we love doing here, right? Right, y'all?
Could you imagine your life without spreadsheets?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, come on.
Can't. Let's unspreadsheet the world, y'all.
Yep, let's hashtag that.
Okay. And now we'll lead into, I want to kind of have the Q&A section of this. And so I put some themes up here. We do have kind of some more technical questions that I'm going to follow up with Amanda and Annalisa on, and we will follow up on those technical ones. But right now we kind of just want to speak to some of these themes that are kind of the more common questions that we have. So, you know, Amanda, we talked a lot about aligning sales and marketing, connecting data. What have you seen this week or maybe, you know, last week with some of the stuff that you're working on for our customer base?
Yeah, one trend I've been seeing is the sales enablement tools that I was speaking about before. So there's a lot more to our integrations than just feeding person data back and forth. So I have some folks that I'm working with who they are generating tasks in their CRM for their sales folks to act on leads that are automatically qualified or leads that do something unique enough or interesting enough that they warrant an immediate follow-up. So rather than having to, you know, go in and manually create that action item for the sales rep, we have automated that. So tasks are automatically being created in the CRM. And then in the sales enablement tool, we're feeding that information over to the sales enablement tool as well, so that sales folks who are working out of there can see that history of what was previously acted upon on that particular lead that they're working with. And that allows them to have better conversations, make better decisions about who to reach out to. And then the same goes back the other way. If they call or email that particular lead, we are feeding that information back to CRM as well. So folks working out of CRM can see that historical data as well and see what is currently in flight, what has been completed, and what would be, you know, the next best step for that particular person that they're working with. Again, the goal is to take the guesswork out of it. We're all busy. We all have a lot of to-dos every single day, and why have that extra, you know, hour of sifting through a bunch of data to try and figure out what you should focus on that day, what you should prioritize. So being able to take that out and let Vertify do that work for you, again, working smarter, not harder, is really great. And so that, you know, creating the triangle between marketing, CRM, and sales enablement or marketing enablement is something that we've seen a lot of recently.
That's great. We have those like Outreach, Sales Loft, some of these tools that has been huge in the past 6 months. And that goes kind of back to where Annalisa comes in on, okay, we've solved that quick win. Like, let's keep going. I mean, Amanda, you just said marketing enablement. I love this.
Well, and that's a great example of how processes are evolving. You know, we're taking out that guesswork, we're making it simple. So that is ultimately freeing up more time for your next step or your next project within your process.
We have one of our customers that we ran a webinar with who talked about how much time he saves with Vertify is what he went to his executive team with, and they were like, if you can save that much time off spreadsheets and all that other stuff, you can buy it, because that's phenomenally more expensive if your executive team member is hours and hours into some kind of reporting. So it's been really cool to kind of hear those stories as well.
Yep. And ultimately, you're really saving money as an institution. You're saving money because you're not having to buy as many seats and licenses that you were referring to earlier, because we can just streamline everything through the Vertify solution.
Yes, exactly. Okay, well, we have reached kind of the end of our working session today. I want to say thank you to everybody who submitted some questions. We will get back to you with those technical things, because that's what this is for. It's for understanding kind of the deep in the weeds that we have and getting those answers. So thank you everybody for joining us today, and we hope to see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda and Annalisa.
Thank you. Bye-bye.